So, good morning. Today we are going to start our next lesson. This lecture is dedicated to organization units of PLC programs. So let's start discuss about these things. So program organization units, we also call it POUs, are block structures used within PLC programming to create programs and projects. According this standard defines three types of POUs. First is programs, next function blocks, and functions. So in this picture we can see how can we create PLC program, application program, and how can we use these types of POUs within PLC program. So let's talk about programs, which is the first in our POU classification. So programs are the highest level program organization units and can be written in any of the standard programming languages. Each program is a network of functions and function blocks that controls the machine or process. Therefore, at least one program is required in any project. So programs can read and write to other input and output variables and can communicate with other programs. And they are the only POUs that can declare global variables which are made available across the project and access path which allow data to be exchanged between configurations. Also, programs can be called by tasks. Each time a program is called, if the values of the program are changed, the changes are retained the next time the program is called, even if it's called by another task. So, this is the example of realizations programs in PLC programming tool. Its realization in codices. In this picture we can see the POU tree. In this tree we can see some POUs. In the brackets we can see the type of this POU. PRG is that means that this program is POU according to standard is program type of POU. And this is the realization of program PLC PRG. It's the main program of PLC programming tool codices. This is the next realization of program. As we see, we can use three different programs as types of POUs, and these programs we can call in our main program PLC PRG in codices. As we see, program 1 program 2 and program 3 can be realized differently, but all of these programs as types of POUs can be called in main program PLC PRG. So next type of POUs, it's function blocks. Function blocks are segments of reusable code that have internal memory and can return different outputs even when the same inputs are used. In other words, the results of function block are conditional on the previous output of the function block or the current state of the process or action. Function blocks can be called by programs or by other function blocks in the some implementations of standard. They can be called by task. The memory that will capture and store the output must be allocated for each unique instance of the function block, a process sometimes referred to as instantiation since it creates an instance of the function block. So, this is the example of realization of function blocks in codices. As we see, in our POU tree, we have function block this and function block this. Also, we have the main program PLC PRG. It's the program. In brackets, we can see the type of POU. First two POUs, this is the function blocks, and last one is program. In realization of this function blocks, we can see in the program body how can we use different function blocks which were declared in our POU tree. So next and last type of program organization units of PLC programs is function. So let's talk about functions. A function can be thought of as a subprogram of an equation that has no internal memory, so it returns a value rather than an output. This means that any time a function is performed, if the same inputs are used, the same value will be returned regardless of the number of times the function is used. So this is the example. How can we use the functions in our PLC programs? As we see, the function has returned its name as output. So this is the next realization of function in PLC PRG in other language. So if we discuss about program organization units in realization of application program of PLC, we have some task, because without task, PLC cannot realize any application program. After that, we have some programs. Our program, application program, means at least contain one program. It must be it could be more than one programs, but at least we need one main program as PLC PIG. So this is the programs. Next, every program can contain function blocks and functions. And any function block can contain other function blocks or functions. Any function can contain some functions. So let's talk about POU interfaces. POUs exchange information among themselves through variables, which we call POU interface variables. Their types are shown in the table below. So from this table we can see interface variables which we use in every POU type. For example, function can only have input interface variables as var input. Functions have no any outputs because function return only one variable as function's name. So next, function block has input and output interface variables, and program has every var variables as var input, var output, and var in out. This is the example of realization function 11. It has a real data type, and this function has two interface variables x and y. It also real data type. So in other language, yes, in function block diagram language, it can be shown as this. So if we use function blocks, we have not only input interface variables, we have also output interface variables, and this is the realization in function block diagram language of the function block with name func bl1. This is how can we use interface variables of program organization units. So it was the main information about program organization units which we use when we need to write application program for the PLCs. So I hope this information was useful and I wish you good luck. Goodbye.